Today, we're diving into something truly amazing, a fusion of ancient craft and cutting-edge tech. We're talking about weaving actual programmable light directly into silk, one of the most beautiful fabrics in the world. So let's just jump right in with a big question. What if your clothes weren't just decorated with patterns, but were dynamic, responsive, and could literally breathe light? I know it sounds like something straight out of science fiction, but believe me, it's happening right now. Really, what this all boils down to is a story about two worlds colliding: the timeless art of traditional Indian draping and the supermodern world of wearable technology. It's about completely rethinking what a piece of fabric can even be. So first up, let's really dig into this idea of silk but reimagined. We're going to look at how a material and a draping technique that are centuries old are getting a massive futuristic upgrade. Okay, so the main goal here is a huge leap forward. For generations, gorgeous garments have used metallic threads like Saree, which are beautiful, but they only reflect light. The new goal is to swap that out for fibers that actually emit light. This turns a passive piece of clothing into an active, glowing surface. Right, so you're probably wondering, how on earth does this work? What are the actual building blocks that make this kind of hybrid couture possible? Let's get into it and break down the anatomy of the materials that make it all happen. It all starts with the canvas, mulberry silk. And this isn't just any silk. It has these incredibly smooth filaments and what's called a high drape coefficient, which is just a fancy way of saying it hangs and flows beautifully. That natural sheen it has also works perfectly with the light that's about to be woven into it. And here is the magic ingredient, the real star of the show. These are not your typical fiber optics. See, side glow fibers are designed to be super flexible, and this is the crucial part. They emit light along their entire length, not just at the tip. These thin polymer strands are literally the luminous thread in the story. Now, obviously, those two main parts need a whole support system to work. We're talking about nearly invisible thread to stitch it all down, tiny little lithium-ion batteries to provide the power, small LEDs to be the light source, and diffusers, which are super important for getting that soft, dreamy glow instead of a harsh glare. Okay, so we've got all the ingredients, but how do you actually combine them? This is where the artistry, the real craftsmanship, comes into play. Let's walk through the incredibly precise process of actually stitching light into fabric. The whole thing is really a 5-step journey from a simple piece of silk to an electronic textile. First, you prep the fabric and mark all the pathways. Then comes the fiber mapping. It's almost like an architect drawing up an electrical plan for a building. After that, the fibers are delicately embedded and the light sources are integrated. And the final, crucial step is adaptation, making sure all this tech works with the natural, beautiful drape of the silk, not against it. And this right here is the secret sauce, the couching method. You can't just punch a needle through the fiber optic strand, you'd break it. Nope. Instead, you lay it right on the surface of the fabric and carefully anchor it with these tiny, transparent stitches. It's incredibly delicate work that respects both the fabric and the tech. As you can imagine, a process like this is full of challenges. For instance, to stop fibers from breaking, they use those super flexible side glow types. To avoid uneven lighting, they add diffusers. Worried about bulkiness from batteries and wires? Well, they use tiny micro batteries and brilliantly hide all the wiring inside seams or pleats. Every problem required a really clever engineering solution to keep the garment looking elegant. All right, let's step back and look at the bigger picture here. This technology creates a completely new way of thinking about design. This isn't just an upgrade, it's a fundamental shift. We're moving from reflection to emission. And this comparison really says it all. You have traditional Saree thread on one side, it's metallic, it's pretty, but it's totally static. It can only catch existing light. On the other hand, you have these fiber optics. They're made of polymer, they're active, they're dynamic. They create their own light. That one shift changes everything. So what does that actually let you do? Well, think about it. You could have a garment where the light pulses softly like a heartbeat, or a saree where a gradient of color just flows down the drape. You could even have patterns that light up in response to the wearer's movement. It's this incredible fusion of timeless heritage motifs with a futuristic cyber aesthetic. So where is all this amazing innovation heading? Let's look at the real-world applications and what this technology could mean for the next chapter of couture and intelligent fashion. And hey, this isn't just some far-off concept. this textile architecture is already showing up in some really high-profile places. We're seeing it in haute couture on the runway, in unforgettable smart bridal wear, and especially in performance costumes, where dynamic light can just take a show to a whole other level. This quote from our source material really hits the nail on the head. We're witnessing a transformation of garments, from being just passive things you wear into something that is interactive, responsive, and almost alive. It's a complete redefinition of craftsmanship. So, we'll leave you with this thought to chew on. We've seen how light can be woven into fabric, creating something entirely new. It really makes you wonder, when you merge timeless materials with boundary-pushing tech like this, what will our clothes be able to communicate, or express, or even do next?